drink champagne. I'm totally vibing. It's true what they say. It's all about timing.
Hi guys, welcome to Unscripted. My name is C Chronicles and I post vlogs on this platform as well as fragrance reviews. Today I'm going to bring you my thoughts on some Fugazzis that I have in my collection. If you're new, please remember to subscribe and join the family. And to those who are returning, thank you so much guys for coming back. So I do have a couple of fragrances from the house of Fugazzi. First one I'm going to talk to you about is Orange Crush, simply because some of you may be interested in knowing what it's doing, because I was there at the launch of this fragrance and it's barely maybe a month or two old. Okay, so let me take it out of the box and then give you my thoughts. So this is a close-up of the packaging of the travel size. It says Orange Crush there. Good thing about Fugazzi, they put the notes on the side, so that makes it easy. And the actual vial looks like this. This is quite generous, actually. I like this. This is an Extrait de Parfum, so I do not need much. That's actually plenty, but I'm going to do a second one there, right? There is an Orange Crush that is not an Extrait de Parfum, and in Mr. Fugazzi's own words said, it opens up very similar. You need to give this fragrance about 5 minutes, for you to get into what this one is doing. And we experienced this fragrance. We had a chance to bathe in this fragrance. The opening of this fragrance is, of course, a burst of the orange. But the orange in here doesn't come across as a zingy or like a fruit juicy type of orange. It is an orange that is carried or pushed, especially by that ISO-E. So if you watched the previous vlog that I dropped before this one and you want in-depth detail about how they came about this fragrance and stuff, then you will hear it, guys, in his own words, him describing this fragrance. So this is a combination of a lot of citruses. There is the lemon, I think the bergamot, and that orange, right? Because it's called Orange Crush, and that orange, and it is the orange mostly that's talking in here. Citruses here are not like sour. It's spicy citrus, a woody citrus, anchored especially by that Akigala wood. Some of you are going to say it kind of feels a little bit synthetic there in the opening. The ISO-E is the one thing that he highlighted as a note of choice that they use to tie things together, in this fragrance, and that Akigala wood. This fragrance, when you spray it initially, will remind you of the Parfum, because they do have a Orange Crush Parfum, but the Parfum is more fun, it's more youthful, it's more versatile, while this one is woody and spicy, and to an extent grown. This is a commitment in a bottle. A little goes a long way. This thing is so intense. It's a sort of fragrance that you smell on yourself even the next day, or on clothing even after the next wash. It's that strong. And I like what we got from that masterclass, which was how the founder himself explained how in extracts, they have to go by the regulations, because using a certain note in its potency then makes a fragrance less pleasant. And he was saying that was the thing that they were kind of trying to make sure that this fragrance doesn't arrive at that this fragrance is enjoyable enough, not too pushy, not add that Akigala wood to make it so pushy, but at the same time use a decent dose of oils to make it have the lasting power and keep to that orange. So this one, guys, will keep to the citruses from start to finish, but it's not a juicy citrus like an orange juice type of citrus. It's a powdery even citrus, a spicy citrus, a perfumey citrus. There's one thing that comes to mind that they have used in this, which will make it very difficult for some people to move past, and that is an ingredient in this that kind of feels like what was used in L'Interdit. There is a musky powderiness that I get from this that kind of shares similarities to L'Interdit without this one being L'Interdit. There is a lot more complexity in this. This one lasts way longer, and I know L'Interdit is also a long-lasting fragrance. If you have this fragrance, please tell me. There is like a L'Interdit-ish, powdery thingish that I get in this. However, this, guys, is a fragrance that develops, you know, as you wear it. The longer you wear it, the more it gives you these facets, you know, transitioning into a nice warm scent. It's an intense type of serious like scent. And remember, I went with Maima. I actually tried to convince her to trade this one with me while I give her something else, and she was like, because I was of the, you know, feeling that maybe she wouldn't like it, being as young as she is. But this fragrance has these pages where it starts off super strong, continues, you know, strong, but in a tolerable manner. This is a head turner. I'm not saying that because I attended the masterclass. I am not saying that because this is a Fugazzi. I am just saying, guys, this is a good citrus, and I think the brand itself challenged themselves when it came to this, because citruses can be very tricky, especially to present in an interesting niche way, and Orange Crush, guys, Extrait certainly does that. So enough said of that. Let us move to Nocologne. Nocologne, I think, is one that is targeted for men. Nocologne is also not a fragrance that I've tested that much, and we were not given this. I already had it in my collection, and what was said about it, especially on the night, is the reason why I'm now interested in giving it a good test wear. Okay, let me just show you how it looks like. Okay, that's it. Also has the notes right there, despite the fact that this is a travel size, and the actual fragrance in itself in travel size form is like this. It's 8 ml, so plenty to play around with there. Okay, so let us just pump a couple of sprays out, and then I'll tell you my thoughts on Nocologne. Right, notes listed here are, there's plenty of notes listed here, guys, but offset, this is an aromatic fragrance. It's giving me aromatic and green. It says Calabrian, bergamot, pamplemousse, lemon and mandarin, orange blossom, ginger zest, mimosa, pink pepper and clary sage. I can see where or how, you know, they arrived at this citrusiness. This is certainly a citrus fragrance. You either love it or you don't. It's also on the green side and quite fizzy. The base of this fragrance is amber crystal, amber seed, moss, and vetiver. So yeah, certainly an aromatic green scent. Nocologne, the name, okay, the name shouldn't be one that maybe gives you a mental shortcut that this is going to be on the light side. This is a masculine leaning scent that's quite intense. I love the choice of notes that they have added in this, guys, to build to that citrus. I mean, that ginger, adding a fizziness, that oak moss, giving a green tease, you know, to this fragrance, and that umbrage. So this is a green, fresh, spicy, masculine leaning scent that I can carry as a woman, and quite intoxicating there. The aromaticness of this fragrance is quite piercing, and I love how the notes have been put in quantities where there's no push and pull. You get a tease of this and that and this and that, and then you get, and everything kind of works together to build just one unified scent profile. The clary sage in here is not doing too much. The oak moss is not doing too much. It's just adding enough greenness without making this one, you know, lean too green, that sort of thing. The citruses are not making this one sour. This is a good one. This is a good one. This is going to be favored by a lot of gents. Okay, it's an Extrait de parfum, so we are also promised of longevity when it comes to this, because Extraits usually last long. The aromatic nature of it is also going to make it project, because that is the one thing that a lot of Extraits have a problem with, where because of too much oil concentration, then there's no projection. But the wearer will enjoy it the entire time, the next couple of days, that sort of thing, but there's no projection. Now in this, the spiciness of this makes it project. So yeah, that is what I can say, guys, about Nocologne. I am not disappointed. It's not a bad fragrance. You know, the reason why I got this a long time ago and I didn't bother even to give it a good test wear was I was thinking it's just going to be along the lines of the, you know, you know, the cologne masculine fragrances that we've seen a gazillion times, you know, the Fugazzi tiger, because of that ginger and the citruses, but it's not doing that. It's quite impressive to my nose. And then we have cash flower. Okay, cash flower, another one that I can't remember what it was doing. Actually, I had to pull out from my fragrance collection. Cash flower, the notes are going to be rose petals, rose, pepper, cashmere, amber, musk, and sandalwood. All right, so this is a floral. Let us see what it is doing. The color is actually pink. Did I show you a close-up of this? Let me show you. Okay, it's cash flower from the house Fugazzi. I love this brand. I love the history behind the creation of this brand. The owner explained how he started by doing everything on his own, putting the labels there, selling oils in, you know, in college, and mixing stuff together, mostly giving it to family, and family going out there to see if they'd get compliments. It's a really nice story, actually, when it comes to how the brand Fugazzi was created. He also explained how some of the names of his fragrances are inspired by drugs, you know, as a fun brand. Fugazzi in itself means fake, right? And angel dust, I think he said, is inspired by whatever drug. And then there was what angel dust, and I can't remember, guys, but if you watch that vlog, you will see how he came up with some of these names, you know, just to make the brand interesting and daring, but not necessarily rebellious. Now this opens up with like a sour feel of the florals. So the rose, or double dose of rose, that they have put here, because they've listed rose petals and the rose, is giving me hints of like a greenness, like what a lemony rose would do, than what a fruity rose would do. So there's a little bit of some greenness that comes to the surface when it comes to this fragrance. It's also an Extrait de Parfum. So yeah, the one thing I can also say about this one immediately is, though it might not be my favorite from the brand, this is a rose done differently. They have used that note of pepper, and I think that is the part where the rose becomes spicy. So it's more like a green rose than fruity or floral. And then it gets into a spiciness, and then there's a slight woodiness, okay? The only reason why I wouldn't run to purchase this is for the fact that it is a rose fragrance. That's all I can take away from it, because with rose fragrance and the rose fragrance variations, you really need to give one a test wear before you actually decide whether you want this specific rose or you want a rose with a twist. If at all I made sense there. I'm just trying to explain to you how I wouldn't purchase this one first, okay, in full size, simply because it's a rose scented scent, but it's giving me lemony rose, a little bit of some spiciness. It also gives me an aromaticness, just a little bit of an aromaticness, and woods, and something that's a little bit on the sour side, but not bad. That is cash flower. The one I fell in love with, guys, before even knowing about Orange Crush and Nocologne and cash flower, and the Orange Crush EDP, was Angel Dust. The minute I got my nose on this, I was hooked. As I said, asked Mima, you know, if she was willing to trade Orange Crush, the Extrait, with me, because I felt it would be too mature for her. She actually said no, she loves that one a lot. The one she was willing to trade was Angel Dust, and I was like, that is the one that a lot of people like. And the creator himself said this is their international success one. I mean, everybody seems to love Angel Dust. And I remember, I think he mentioned something about how he didn't think that this one would take off the way it did, because it was just one of those fragrances that he put out there and was like, we'll see. But this became the best seller. It's the notes of dark wood, cashmere, white amber, and pink pepper. Guys, this is a beautiful blend. This is very difficult to describe. You're going to get the pink pepper there at the top, as well as the, bergamot and lemon. But what makes this fragrance is that amber, all right? They have used that white amber. I don't know what they've done to it, making it such that it's very difficult to describe. This is a fragrance that you need to interact with for you to understand. It's a smooth and ambery cashmere scent that reminds you of perhaps the most luxuriously woven fabric, silk, maybe even fleece, but like a very nice cashmere and feel of a fabric. This is a fragrance that doesn't assert itself as a floral or a fruit, but it's scented. I just don't know how to describe it. And sometimes I come here and liken fragrances to not a perfume because of how that one vibes. In the muskiness and how you're not able to really pick what it's doing. This one doesn't fall under that category of not a perfume. I can certainly smell this. For you to actually understand it, you need to smell it. It's neither sweet nor is it sour. It's not crisp. It's not one that I would call floral. It's not a fruity scent, but it is very present. It's elegant. It's soft. A little bit, just a little bit woody, with a pink pepper that's not really domineering, everything that's happening there. So this is Angel Dust, guys. Is the Extrait de Parfum. And in conclusion, guys, cash flower. I wouldn't necessarily rush and purchase this in full size simply because it's a rose scented scent, and there are a lot of rose variations of fragrances on the market. This doesn't exactly remind me of anything. It's not a clone of anything, but just because it is centered on that rose, maybe it will make it such that I really don't feel excited to own it in full size. A second one that just won't make the cut for me in full size is Nocologne. Absolutely beautiful fragrance, but for the fact that it is masculine, aromatic, spicy, and that sort of thing, I probably wouldn't pull the trigger on buying this one in full size. But the winner, guys, the winners are these two. Angel Dust, can't fault it. From the day I smelled it, I mean, no one had to sell this one to me. I loved it immediately. Difficult to describe, not challenging, but beautiful to the senses. So certainly Angel Dust. And now Orange Crush. If you want a citrus fragrance that's loud, that's bold, that's unapologetic, put your nose on this and let me know what you think. I in fact will probably save up for this first and then maybe this one later. That's how much Orange Crush got me sold. So yeah, guys, that's it when it comes to the Fugazzi fragrances within my collection. Let me know your thoughts. Have you come across this brand? Are you interested in exploring them? I would love to know. I think I would love to explore more. C Chronicles is my name. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we discuss more about fragrances. I will bring you a couple more reviews in due course because I'm trying to throw my weight around on this channel. Love you as always. Be blessed. Stay safe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.